Ed Ross with Ignite Selling, focus on helping organizations increase revenue and decrease market share by improving their sales skills. I'm a master facilitator, so I work with select clients on helping them implement our solutions across the nation. You know, the majority of our work is done with salespeople and sales leaders, whether that's helping them implement that overall strategy as we just discussed, or whether it's around workshop activities like this where we lead these interactive sessions that allow organizations to think about their strategy and we challenge the way they think and approach their business on a daily basis. I've been training for probably 12 years on the education side. Prior to that, I carried a bag in sales and I've led sales teams of all different sizes, but I've been focusing on the education side of training for probably the last 12 years or so. Yeah, what I love about our methodology is really the learning happens out in the audience. My job as the master facilitator is just to guide those conversations and help them think about their strategies and try to figure out where they're going. My goal isn't to teach them anything. My goal is truly to be a facilitator of knowledge, skill, and application within the table settings, and that's really unique about what we do. We take that exercise, make it relevant, make it real, so that they can walk out with strategies they can execute immediately. Yeah, the beauty of what we do is we work with all skill levels. Sometimes we're working with someone who's brand new to sales, or sometimes they are brand new to a certain industry or arena. What we teach them are fundamental skills that takes all that they've been exposed to before in their sales career and allows us to apply these new strategies. Our methodology allows us to make it real, to make it relevant, and to give them an opportunity to get exposure to other strategies. In many of our sessions, they'll be paired with someone else who may be more experienced or more tenured, and so these activities allow them to share the way they think in an open format so that they can identify multiple strategies. And what we often find is those individuals find strategies that maybe they didn't think of before because they have exposure to someone who's been doing it at a very high level, those high performers. Or even our high performers are now being exposed to new ways to thinking about it, considering the changes we see in the marketplace. Yeah, you know, it's about making it real and relevant for them. Many of them have been through training programs where they sit down and they go through your traditional death by PowerPoints. All of our activities are table-based. It encourages that social learning element. So they don't want to participate because they've been through that death by PowerPoint where someone's speaking at them. Now they have an opportunity to share their insights and their experience with other colleagues, challenge the way each other thinks, even if you have multiple high performers in the room, and that gives them a strategy that's immediately applicable. They can go out and start using that strategy right at the conclusion of one of our workshops. Yes, so we've incorporated the learning map, which is an oversized game board, if you will, and that learning map forces them to take their individual thoughts and roll it into a team strategy that they're accountable for. And what we love about this approach is because they're now transitioning their individual thoughts into a team play, they're using some of the same skills of influence in creating value for others that we're actually teaching in the program. So unbeknownst to them, they're reinforcing the skills that we're exposing them to, that we expect them to use on their customers. They're doing it in that social learning environment. So that's how we use the learning map. Each learning map forces them to think about a different strategy. It allows them to compare notes on case or influencers or key decision makers, and that again pushes them to do it. Plus, it's an element of fun that they actually get to draw on something for those kinesthetic learners. They all get to apply the different learning styles by using the learning map. So it's a great device, a great resource for us in terms of engaging learners in a different way than they've been in the past. I love all of them. I would say the influencer is one of my favorite because it forces people to think about levels of influence and how do we impact those. The value is another, especially in today's time and market, because we're all trying to figure out how do we create differentiating value for our clients. And then sales process is one that I lead very often for our clients as well, helping them identify what are the steps or phases that they go through, and then what are those key milestones that they actually need to accomplish to move an opportunity forward. Yeah, our recommendations are that, number one, they use our online tools, our paper-based tools to reinforce the experience that they just had that day. Number two, a very strategic part of what we do is coaching, right? They have to receive some type of coaching and reinforcement. In the absence of that coaching and reinforcement, within 90 days, they'll lose 87% of what they learned in a classroom environment. So that coaching and reinforcement is really big part of the success strategy we roll out to our customers.